Good morning. Good morning. I just want to welcome you and please just remind you to everyone turn your cell phones to silent and to let you know that we use both of these aisles during the procession and the processional, so please keep those eyes clear. Thank you.
Please be seated. Good morning and welcome. Let the celebrations begin. I'm Vikas Sukatme, Dean of the School of Medicine, and it's my great privilege to preside over the diploma ceremony for the class of 2019. Let me begin this momentous day with a warm welcome to our guest, Reverend Amy Green, mother of graduating MD student Nate Reuters. Reverend Green will now lead us in the invocation. Reverend Green.
Good morning. Welcome back. Here we are again, a group of people who were last in this beautiful sanctuary together almost 4 years ago as total strangers, whose beloved sons and daughters were embarking on their medical education. It's my great privilege today to give an invocation, a call, to bring us back together, this time as a community, formed by the interwoven lives of our sons and daughters on the day they become doctors of medicine. To invoke in such a context is to call upon our collective highest and deepest virtues and sources of strength, both human and divine, to create an occasion of lasting impact. Though we come from many places, beliefs, and perspectives, today we are one community, united in our love and respect for these young men and women who are giving their lives to the healing, science, and art of medicine. And we are one in our gratitude for their teachers and mentors who have brought them to this hour. Today we also invoke all the sources of inspiration that pulled each one of these young people toward this great calling in the first place. We pray today that the same things which inspired them to embark on this journey will remain alive in them and lead them forward, always. Whether they believe that the call came solely from deep within themselves, or from their formative environments, or from something more mysterious and ineffable, they each felt that pull, like the moon pulls on the tides, and they moved with perseverance and the sheer force of will toward this day. So today we celebrate their fortitude and we honor their faithfulness. Welcome.
Thank you very much. So a special welcome to the members of our administration, our faculty, family members, friends, and most of all, members of the graduating class of 2019 of the Emory University School of Medicine. Welcome to our diploma ceremony. As we begin, I would like to extend a special welcome to Dean Emeritus Tom Lawley and Wally Curran, the Executive Director of the Winship Cancer Institute. We especially welcome our Executive Vice President for Health Affairs, Executive Director of the Woodruff Health Sciences Center, and CEO of Emory Healthcare, Dr. Jonathan Lewin. Thank you for joining us today. Additionally, we would like to recognize some very special guests. They are Emory School of Medicine alumni from the group Corpus Cordis Aurum, Golden Core of the Heart, alumni from 1969 and earlier. Would you please stand and be recognized? Dr. Albert Barakis, Dr. Albert Pinto, Dr. Craig Ray, Dr. Stanley Tenenbaum, Dr. Gerald Watts, have I forgotten somebody? No, okay. Great class, thank you. So class of 2019, hearty congratulations to you, to your families, and all of your friends and teachers who have supported you through these past years. You are soon to become alumni, joining over 6,000 graduates from the Emory School of Medicine spread throughout the world. We on the faculty will watch with awe and amazement the heights to which you will undoubtedly reach, no pressure. Whether your role is in healing, in discovery, or in teaching. Now, some of you know that I like to ask questions. So I was just wondering, did any of you go on the Google website today? None of you Googled anything since the morning? Come on, folks. All right, you did. Did you happen to notice what Google Doodle is celebrating today? Absolutely. And did you happen to notice the birthday of that person? The 136th birthday was on May 13th, 136 years ago. I just happened to notice that this morning. Trivia question of the day. All by way of saying that we're honoring, that Google is honoring, the world is honoring an individual who has saved millions of lives through this discovery. By the way, it took about 40 years before that discovery really came into practice. Another trivial fact. So over the last 4 years, you've received a lot of advice, most of which I'm sure you will not remember. So I thought today I would offer you one additional piece, but one that is very easy to keep in mind. Stay hip. That's it. H-I-P. I did make this up, by the way. The H is for humility, a willingness to learn from anyone, at any time, in any venue. The H also stands for honesty, stands for leading with your heart, and is also symbolic of humor. Learn to laugh, especially at yourself, for laughter is indeed the best medicine. The H is also for healing. You will rarely cure, but you can always heal. The I is for imagination and intellectual curiosity. Connect the dots, as Steve Jobs would say, to come up with new solutions leading to innovation that impacts. In case you're wondering, you should recall the Emory School of Medicine logo: imagination, innovation, and impact, I cubed. The P is for passion. Find what uniquely engages you, especially if it is also in the service of others. Combine passion with compassion, and you have a powerful duo. P also stands for pause. Every so often, take a moment to reflect in the midst of all of your activities. P also stands for perspective. Encourage and respect differences. Well, in a nutshell, there you have it. Stay hip, stay in touch. Congratulations. It's now my great privilege to introduce this year's diploma ceremony speaker. Dr. Fadlo Khoury was born in Boston, Massachusetts, raised in Beirut, born into a family steeped in academic medicine. An academic biography is printed in the program for your review. In brief, Dr. Khoury is a world-renowned scientist, clinician, and leader at MD Anderson Cancer Center, at Emory University, and now is president of the American University of Beirut. His scientific and clinical work focuses on the etiology, prevention, and treatment of aerodigestive cancers. At Emory, he chaired our Department of Hematology and Oncology, helped lead meteoric rise of our Winship Cancer Institute, and served as Executive Associate Dean for Research in the School of Medicine. In 2015, he was inaugurated as the 16th president of the American University of Beirut. Before accepting this job as president, Dr. Khoury was actively recruited to lead some of the world's largest cancer centers. Many in the academic circles questioned his move to AUB to lead a university in a region that was and continues to be in the midst of considerable conflict and disruption. The reason Dr. Khoury returned to his home was clearly stated in his inaugural address that I encourage you to look up and read. He returned to Lebanon to lead a school that has stood as a light on the hill in the Middle East since the 19th century. In his inaugural address, Dr. Khoury promised to test our purpose to make more abundant the lives of those who most need us. We are indeed privileged to have a person of great mind, great spirit, and great humanity speak to us today on this day of celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Fadlo Curry.
Good morning. I didn't hear you, I don't believe. Good morning. So, parents, faculty, colleagues, Dean Sukhatme, Dean Emeritus Tom Lawley, Executive Vice President Lewin, but most importantly, my new colleagues, the Emory University School of Medicine, class of 2019. Congratulations. Congratulations on your graduation and welcome to one of the most noble professions of all, that of the practice of medicine. Physicians are a unique and rare breed, and as Emory medical students, soon to be former medical students and now alumni, you are on the time-honored path to become among the best and the brightest. Today you are filled with hope and conviction among the bulwarks of a community that prides itself not only on their intellect and application, but on their compassion. And you enter this now 165-year-old medical school convinced, and rightfully so, that you can change the world for the better. And with good reason. One of the finest universities in the world today, Emory has long been known for the caliber of its medical graduates. The forerunner of the school dates back to 1854, when the Georgia General Assembly chartered the Atlanta Medical College. Students attended the first session the following year, and in 1859, following a $15,000 appropriation from the state legislature, the first building was started, and it was erected at Butler and Armstrong Streets, a site you'll know well, near the site now occupied by the Grady Memorial Hospital. And the rest, as they say, is history, the very best kind of history. You've all earned your way to Emory, and you've worked very hard to earn your degrees. But you know you didn't get there alone. So please now turn to your parents, your husbands and wives, your siblings, your families and friends, your loved ones. Turn now and salute them, because they are the folks who've been with you on the journey so far, and they'll be with you to the end of the journey. And this journey will only get longer and more interesting, I can promise you. Generation after generation before you, Emory medical graduates have served the less fortunate, built communities, made scientific discoveries, applied them, and perhaps most importantly, admirably educated the next generation and the one after that. From community physicians to physician educators, physician scientists, clinical investigators, Emory has run the gamut of major contributors in every field, from cardiovascular medicine, neuroscience, cancer, infectious disease, surgical diseases, and so many other specialties. You are therefore stepping out into the wider world with your eyes wide open. You're well-trained, confident, coherent, and ready to further test your skills in the world of medical practice and research. But it's worth sharing with you, and with all of us here present today, to witness you take your oath, a few observations from my time in our soon-to-be shared profession before you go forward at full throttle into a daunting and demanding world. In the course of the next 15 minutes or so, I have some advice to share with our wonderful Emory students based on my 30 years in the profession. And I'd be shocked if in 15 years from you, any of you can remember one thing from your medical address. I sure can't. First, I want to share a little bit about my own background. After attending the American University of Beirut for a year, a magical university like this one, I transferred to Yale, and then I attended Columbia and trained in internal medicine at the Boston City Hospital, and then I did my fellowship in Hemonc at Tufts. My training was in the midst of the AIDS epidemic. In 1995, with $2,200 in our bank account and $77,000 in medical school-related debt, that would be about $350,000 today, I'm told. With one child aged 1.5 and another on the way, my wife and I decided to move to Texas for a one-year contract at the MD Anderson. Most folks thought I was more insane then than they did when I went back to Beirut, because I declined offers from several East Coast institutions, including all the institutions that I had studied or trained at. I think it would prove to be the best decision I would ever make, short of convincing my wife to marry me, and that took 5 years. This only took about 5 days. So I joined MD Anderson Cancer Center as an instructor in 1995, and those were some of the best years of my life until I moved to Emory in 2002 as a tenured professor of hematology and oncology. Here we worked on building a cancer practice, and there was really only one way to go it up. And at the risk of going off script and making my dean blush, when I came here, I looked at the US News and World Report, looking for Emory's name among cancer institutions. Sure enough, not among the top 50. I called a college friend who was a senior editor at US News and World Report, not among the top 100, not even among the top 200 in cancer. And after that I said, so what's the good news? And he said, well, you've only got one way to go, and that's up. And I'm proud to say the cancer program, with very little thanks to me, is now one of the top cancer programs in the world. I had the time of my life at this wonderful university, one to which I'll be forever indebted, and whose ties will long happily bind me here. In 2015, as you heard, I left to become the president of the American University of Beirut, which is the oldest and finest American educational institution abroad. I've attended at public and private hospitals, cared for more than 10,000 patients in my career. I've gotten a few grants and awards and missed a lot more than I've gotten, but I've enjoyed every part of the voyage, and you will enjoy every part of your voyage. One part I didn't realize how important that part was to me was taking care of patients dying of cancer and AIDS at the Boston City Hospital. Learning to cope with a limited therapeutic arsenal was probably the most important lesson I learned in my career. Almost everything good that's happened to me at MD Anderson, at Emory, and at the American University of Beirut has flowed from my ability to truly care for patients, to learn from them, and to care for subsequent patients better than I was able to care for them. In my view, science and medicine and service, patient care and teaching are all fundamentally intertwined. As Hippocrates himself, father of Occidental medicine, once wrote, a phrase famously shortened and translated to Latin as ars longa vita brevis, or more accurately, life is short, the art long, opportunity fleeting, experience treacherous, and judgment difficult. But the road is much more enjoyable in the company of friends and loved ones. At Columbia, I met my own compañera, la mia tannus, by far the best thing that ever happened to me, although it took me 6 years to convince her so. She has been my best friend, my soulmate, my toughest critic, and my fiercest defender for 34 years now. Together, we raised 3 wonderful children in Atlanta, including our own son, Raja, who graduated from Emory College last spring. So in the course of these 30 years, I've learned some valuable lessons from people, and especially from patients. Whether it's sitting by the bedside of patients dying from cancer and AIDS, determined to learn from those defeats in order to make a difference in the future, while doing all you can to be present in the moment for those who need you the most, to helping gain new biological insights at the side of far greater scientists like Haiyan Fu, helping develop new approaches to the treatment prevention of lung and head and neck cancer with Suresh Ramalingam, Wally Curran, and Tofik Owanakoko, or mentoring the next generation of the best and brightest physicians and scientists, including the wonderful Mary Jo Lekowitz, Ruth O'Regan, Jing Chen, Sagar Lonial, Adam Marcus, the late Jean Coury, and Tofik, among others. Medicine is an incredibly rewarding, inspiring, tiring, but always remarkably resilient profession. It teaches you to reach deep into yourself for reserves of energy, compassion, wisdom, and understanding that you may well never have realized you had in you. And it also humbles you repeatedly. But I can state with some conviction that in these moments, the pressure to perform affects all of us. Fueled by our naturally competitive juices and dragged down by fatigue, cutting corners to get ahead can become a natural human instinct. When this temptation or other difficult choices present themselves to you, think twice and weigh your options, and most of all, check your moral fiber, Or as the great Greg Maddux, arguably the greatest Atlanta Braves pitcher ever said, under pressure, throw softer, not harder. Slow down. Your conscience and your desire to first do no harm should govern those difficult decisions in challenging times, but sometimes in difficult diseases like cancer and AIDS and neurosciences, you have to do harm to do good, and those are the most difficult moments. So when you slow things down and break things into the components and consequences of your decisions for the patients, rather than speeding them up, wise decisions generally more frequently emerge. Therefore, you have to try at all times to remember that the physician-patient bond represents a river that flows both ways: empathy and sagacity and patience from the physician, hope and trust and humanity from the patient. You will gain from the patient every bit as much as they gain from you. It's not a one-way street, and you are serving your patients because you have the training, skill, and privilege to do so, but also because they made the choice to trust you, and they are honoring you with your trust. It is an honor and a calling to be a physician, a healer. Enjoy these gifts and deploy them wisely. Knowing the above, it helps you to remember that medicine, in fact life, is really a marathon and not a sprint. That's something I first learned at Columbia and at the Boston City Hospital, sitting by those bedsides, offering ineffective therapies and maximal support. I did this so often and had to witness so many tragedies in the era before highly effective antiretroviral therapy, targeted therapy, and immunotherapy, that I constantly had to remind myself of the words of the late William Sloane Coffin. William Sloane Coffin was the chaplain of Yale College during the Vietnam War. And he would tell us to resist, and we would ask, what are we supposed to resist? But he had a wonderful saying. He described the grace of God as minimum protection, maximum support. Minimum protection, maximum support. And that's where you come from in medicine. But slowly but surely, as you'll see in the history of medicine, you'll enter into these cycles which represent age of miracles after age of miracles. It's a constant theme of medicine. As I said, I was fortunate to work with High-End, with Xiong Sun and others to help develop novel approaches to the study of the biology and treatment of lung and head and neck cancer. And today we do have an arsenal of targeted therapy, immunotherapy, radiotherapy, proton beam therapy. Where's Wally? I had to mention that. All of which I could barely imagine as a medical student. I think generations after me could barely imagine these, but we could hope. But medical miracles intertwine with the science and with the care. You can make a difference first and foremost with your compassion, but also with your knowledge and your service. And you can make that difference for individual patients and even more broadly in the field as a whole. Both are noble. But to do it, you have to develop that persistence and resilience that will grow with time as you start your long voyage now towards mastering the art that you've studied. The one piece of advice I want you to remember is don't burden yourself with thoughts that your career and your life, in fact, are on the line with every decision, every mistake, every consequence. We all learn from our mistakes, and we become wiser and better by doing so. Becoming forgiving and understanding with your peers, colleagues, and patients is going to help you to become more forgiving with yourself. It'll help you to accept your stumbles more readily. Judge not, lest ye yourself be judged, as the biblical phrase goes. Mercy is an essential component of the greatest physicians, nurses, and caregivers. So let mercy be your guide, and the times will pass more peacefully, and the results will flow more readily. I'm the first to admit that I've made many mistakes at the Boston City Hospital, Tufts New England Medical Center, at MD Anderson at Emory, and I may even have made one or two at the American University of Beirut. But realizing the need to learn from mistakes and being humbled by the responsibility of people's lives and their trust is the lesson in humility, and it is a source of constant energy and inspiration. To be wise, to be current, and to deliver the best possible care, you need to read, and read some more. That's why we cut those hours from 120 or whatever it was down to 80. Not just so you don't make mistakes, so you read more. Being a perpetual student of life, medicine, and science is not only a wonderful privilege, but an incredible opportunity. And the opposite, failing to keep up with the medical and scientific literature, often has dire consequences for you, and more importantly, for your patients. After all, as Sir William Osler, one of the fathers of modern medicine, once said, it is astonishing how little reading a doctor can practice medicine, but it is not astonishing how badly he may do it. But most of all is my great friend Bill Ely, who has honored me with his friendship and his support. The Dean of Medical Education at Emory University has said to me on so many different stressful occasions, just enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. Medicine is empowering, it's engaging, it's genuinely magical and enthralling. Don't rush, take your time. You're on the cusp of joining a matchless sisterhood and brotherhood. You're about an hour and a half away. Enjoy it. Not thanks to my speech. Savor every moment of it. We, everyone here in this room, we have no doubt that you will make us proud, and we look forward to welcoming you into the profession as our future colleagues. Don't ever forget that your very worst day is going to be considerably better than many of our patients' best days. And some of those patients are capable of great, great things. I want to read you a quote from one individual who's plagued with severe mental illness, low self-esteem, and severe depression. He was hospitalized many times. He had many physicians. But with the help of his physicians, particularly his last physicians, he strove to make something of himself. And he said, what am I in the eyes of most people? A non-entity, an eccentric, or an unpleasant person. Somebody who has no position in society and will never have. In short, the lowest of the low. All right then, even if that were absolutely true, then I should one day like to show by my work what such an eccentric, such a nobody has in his heart. That is my ambition, based less on resentment than on love in spite of everything, based more on a feeling of serenity than on passion. Though I'm often in the depths of misery, there is still calmness, pure harmony and music inside me. I see paintings or drawings in the poorest cottages and the dirtiest corners, and my mind is driven towards these things with an irresistible momentum. I want to touch people with my art. I want them to say, he feels deeply, he feels tenderly. This man did not succeed during his life as an artist. He sold but one painting. But in 8 years, he produced hundreds of modern masterpieces, bequeathing the lion's share of them to one Paul Ferdinand Gachet, the physician who helped him over the last 10 weeks of his life, along with his own brother, to survive, to make many of these masterpieces, and to once more re-engage with his art. And the doctor bequeathed this remarkable collection to the French Academy, still the most priceless gift of the greatest modern artist of all. That patient, that artist, that desperate, unsuccessful, tortured soul, as many of you may have recognized, was Vincent van Gogh, as we would say in the US. And his physician had no miracle to share with him, no treatment that was effective, a diagnosis that was tenuous. The one thing that he shared was his patience, his compassion, and his understanding. So go in peace, my younger sisters and brothers. Never forget your power and your responsibility, and your wisdom could help the next great artist, great genius, or just the next great sufferer to find a little more peace in their lives. You live in a current age of miracles, following many other such ages of miracles. These ages will come and go, but the need for physicians with real wisdom, judgment, diligence, and compassion will forever endure. Congratulations, and go forth to make more miracles and to share your compassion.
Enjoy the journey, not just for those of us in medicine, I think. Good advice for everybody. Thank you very much, Dr. Corey. It is now my honor to present the first annual Provost's Distinguished Teaching Award for Excellence in Graduate and Professional Education. This new award is presented to one faculty member in each Emory graduate and professional school in acknowledgement of their important role as an exemplar in education. This year's Provost's Award goes to Dr. Lisa Bernstein. Dr. Bernstein, will you please come to the podium and receive your award? Allow me to also mention the University Exemplary Teaching Award, which was bestowed upon a medical school faculty member at this morning's university ceremony. Emory's Exemplary Teacher of the Year Award recognizes an individual that reflects a true commitment to inclusion and has lived the values in which Emory was founded. This year, the university awarded this honor to our own Mary Jo Lekowitz. Dr. Lekowitz, please rise and accept our congratulations. I would now like to call Dr. Anna Kuo, who is the president of the Emory School of Medicine Alumni Board, to present the Papa George Award.
Thank you, Dean Sakame. Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to welcome the class of 2019 as graduates of Emory University School of Medicine. We know that you will continue our great tradition of serving others as physicians. I would like to ask all former alumni of the School of Medicine and former residents of Emory training programs to please stand and be recognized. Thank you. In 1993, the Medical Alumni Association established an award given at graduation to recognize a teacher who best exemplifies excellence in medical education. It honors the legacy of Dr. Evangeline Papa George. Dr. Papa George taught biochemistry to Emory Health Science students for almost 30 years and became the School of Medicine's first dean of students and first female administrator in 1956. She retired in 1975, but continued to attend this graduation into her 90th year. It is in her memory that we award an exemplary faculty member whose intellectual luminosity has generated the greatest excitement about learning among students and colleagues. If you are a faculty member who have received this honor in previous years, could you also please stand to be recognized? And now I would like to read a few of the accolades written by the students who nominated this year's Papa George winner. This faculty member brings positivity, optimism, realism, honesty, depth of understanding, and care that is infectious. This teacher forces students to open their eyes wider and creates an environment of acceptance of others and of yourself. This physician is incredibly skilled and knowledgeable while staying extremely humble. She puts her heart into teaching, and she is an incredible inspiration. She is a medical superwoman every day. And so, it is my great privilege to award the 2019 Evangeline Papa George Distinguished Teaching Award to Dr. Maura George.
Good afternoon. Each year, the senior medical school class honors an individual by naming him or her as their honorary class member. The award is given to the individual whom the class feels has been a major contributor to their education. The honorary class member has the honor of marching and sitting with the graduating class during the School of Medicine diploma ceremony. The class of 2019 has selected a most remarkable member of our community as their fellow classmate, Miss June Eddingfield. June, please stand. Miss Eddingfield is loved. It is now my privilege to announce the students receiving academic honors for the class of 2019. Although the Doctor of Medicine degree is reward enough for academic accomplishments, I can't emphasize that enough. Honors are a special distinction given to students for exceptional scholarly achievement. Please stand as your name is read, and audience, please hold your applause until the last name is called. I will indicate when applause is indicated. This is practice for later. The following students will graduate cum laude. Matthew Joseph Eisperu, Anisha Vijay Apte, Allison Elizabeth Crisp, Celia Erlis Foster, in absentia, Olivia Gail Gerbatkin, Adam Marcus Hanif, Daniel Pining, Jacob Benjamin Schreiner, Jason Lewis Schwartz, Hannah Shorenstein Williams. Let's give them a round of applause, please. The following group of students will graduate magna cum laude. Laura Christine Arneson, Marta Brigida Bean, Ian Kyle Everett, Claire Mackenzie Muller, Catherine Suram Nam, Kaya Marion Schwartz, Ryan Slower, Jennifer Tomlinson. Congratulations. And finally, the group that will graduate summa cum laude. Joseph Sharp, Hannah Decker, Jenna Kale Adams, Megan Catherine McGrath, Claire Hyunji Lee. Congratulations. At Emory University, the School of Medicine and the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences offer a combined MD-PhD degree. Students who receive this degree complete requirements for each course of study, both the basic science and clinical training required by the School of Medicine, as well as 3 or more years of research training within the graduate school. We are delighted to have the opportunity to acknowledge 11 of this year's graduates of the MD-PhD program as they receive their MD-PhD degree as part of the School of Medicine ceremony. I now would ask the PhD recipients and their advisors to rise and line up to my left. The students will be hooded by their academic advisors, who will be assisted by Dr. Joanna Bonsall, Clinical Co-Director of the MD-PhD program. Dr. Sukatme and Lewin, will you also take your places to assist? And I would like us to try to hold our applause to all 11 have received their degrees. Will Joab Virginiak please come forward? Joab is receiving his PhD in biomedical engineering. He's being hooded by Dr. Joanna Bonsall. Will Patricia Chung-Min Chung come forward? Patricia is receiving her PhD in epidemiology and is being hooded by Dr. Michael Karmer. Will Chris Herman come forward? Chris is receiving his PhD in bioengineering and is being hooded by Dr. Joanna Bonsall. Will Matthew Kadelka please come forward? Matthew is receiving his PhD in immunology and molecular pathogenesis and is being hooded by Dr. Andrew Naish. Will Holly Lewis please come forward? Holly is receiving her PhD in immunology and molecular pathogenesis and being hooded by Dr. Seema Patel. Well done, Holly. Will Mario Martinez please come forward? Mario is receiving his PhD in biomedical engineering and is being hooded by Dr. Michael Davis. Well done. Will David Matthews come forward? David is receiving his PhD in immunology and molecular pathogenesis and is being hooded by Dr. Andrew Adams. Will Eric Reinertson please come forward? Eric is receiving his PhD in biomedical engineering and is being hooded by Dr. Gary Clifford. Will Erica Smearman now come forward? Erica is receiving her PhD in behavioral sciences and health education and is being hooded by Drs. Jessica Sales and Patricia Brennan. Well done. Will Imfun Effiong Umo please come forward? Umfun is receiving her PhD in neuroscience, is being hooded by Dr. Nicholas Safri. Will James Yang please come forward? James is receiving his PhD in neuroscience and he's being hooded by Dr. Ling Wei. I will now introduce more of our dual degree recipients. The Emory University School of Medicine has a combined Doctor of Medicine and Master of Public Health degree. The 10 students receiving the MPH degree completed an additional year of training in our Rollins School of Public Health and graduate with combined degrees of MD and PH. I ask each student to rise and remain standing after I call your name. Please stay standing until all students have been recognized. And again, please hold your applause if you can until we have them all stand. Sydney Robin Archer. Marissa Laney Hardy Baranowski. Malika Maniapu. Preta Nandi. Emily Devereaux Niehaus. Gabriel Long Perlow. Benjamin Joseph Redpath. Erica Lauren Spearman. Margaret Kwan Toe. Ashley Nicole Morgan Uridia. Congratulations. And I must make this comment for the record. If you noticed, Erica Spearman just got a PhD and an MPH and an MD, so technically she's a triple degree candidate for today. Congratulations, Erica. Six of our graduates have completed both the Doctor of Medicine and Masters of Science in Clinical Research degrees. This required an additional year of training in our Graduate School of Arts and Sciences. I ask each student to rise and remain standing after I call your name. Michael David Aronson. Annie Nguyen Farrell. Sujin Lee. Jessica Lee. Margaret Bamala Sahu in absentia. Chet Christopher Zaleski. Congratulations. We also celebrate 3 graduates who have earned a Master of Business Administration and their M degree, and 1 student who received a Master of Arts in Bioethics. The 3 students who achieved the MD-MBA joint degrees are Arthur Clifton Guyton, Adlai Lilburn Pappy, and Frank Temeza Rivas. Congratulations. The student who has the combined degree MD, Master of Arts in Bioethics, is Christina Marie Volodzi Everhoff. Marie, please stand. I can only say to the families here, see, you could have had more years to pay for, but only 2 more of our students got combined degrees, but they didn't get them here at Emory. So we had 2 who went off campus, and we want to recognize them. 2 of our graduating students have earned degrees outside of Emory. They are Alicia Kramer, who obtained a Master of Science from the London School of Economics. Well done. And Elliot Woods received his PhD in bioengineering from the University of California, Berkeley. Elliot, congratulations. One more late-breaking joint degree, sort of. Just this past Saturday, Mariah Barstow Piazza welcomed into the world our newest member of the Emory family, Mr. Carter Larkin Piazza. Mother and the newest member of our Emory family are doing well, but I just had to bring that up so that we could honor her on the day after Mother's Day. And now, Dean Bacotz.
Thank you. We will now present hoods and diplomas to the MD degree recipients for 2019. Dr. McDonald, please ready the students. Small group advisors, please assemble with the students. Dr. Jonathan Lewin will assist me in awarding each student their diploma. Dr. Joel Fellner, Associate Dean for Clinical Education, will read the names of the graduates. Graduates will be hooded by Dr. Ely, with assistance provided by the Students' Society Advisor. Mr. Michael Goodman, Associate Professor of Epidemiology in the Rollins School of Public Health, and Dr. Igo Ofotoken, Professor of Medicine in the Division of Infectious Diseases, will assist in the awarding of the MPH and MSCR degrees. Dr. Gordon Churchward and Dr. Cheryl Herron will assist with the distribution of the diplomas. Once students have received their hoods and diplomas, each graduate will stop at our official record book at the bottom of the stairs and sign their names for the very first time, followed by the MD, the MD MPH, the MD MSCR, MD MBA, or the MD PhD designation. They will be assisted by Dr. Robert Lee, Associate Dean for Multicultural Medical Student Affairs. We again ask that the audience please hold your applause until all graduates have received their hoods and diplomas and have returned to their seats.
Let us begin. The following student is from the Harvey Society and is being hooded by his society leader, Dr. William Branch. Dr. James Jung. The following students are from the Harvey Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Dmitry Kasamatis. Dr. Marissa Laney Hardy Baranowski. Dr. Malika Manyapu. Dr. Abialo Saleh. The following students are also from the Harvey Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Mary Dolan. Dr. Kaylee Grace Alden. Dr. Patricia Jungman Jung. Dr. Allison Elizabeth Crisp. Dr. Connor William Crowley. Dr. Eileen Dilks. Dr. Catherine Elizabeth Jack Thuber. Dr. Anne Marie Kirschberger. Dr. Elliot Woods is being hooded by his father, Dr. William Woods. The following students are also from the Harvey Society, are being hooded by Dr. Ira Schwartz in the absence of their society leader, Dr. Molly Eaton. Dr. Sujin Lee. Dr. Frank Tomás Rivas. The following students, also from the Harvey Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Nancy Feynman. Dr. Lindsay C. Clow. Dr. Ashish Ramanlo Gandhi. Dr. Adam Marcus Hanif. Dr. Brittany E. Monabianco. Dr. Jennifer Tomlinson. The following students, also from the Harvey Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Christopher Knudsen. Dr. Maya Jane Isaacson. Dr. Benjamin James Kahn. Dr. Clara Hyunjin Lee. The The following students, also from the Harvey Society, are being hooded by Dr. Ira Schwartz in the absence of their society leader, Dr. Louis Rapkin. Dr. Arthur Clifton Guyton II. Dr. Philip Polychroniou. The following students, also from the Harvey Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Bijou Shaw. Dr. Elmira Andreeva. Dr. Lauren Marie Hawkins. Dr. Michelle J. Lee. Dr. Daniel Pining. Dr. Kaya Marianne Schwartz. The following students are from the Lister Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Stephen Brandt. Dr. Emily Niehaus. Dr. Jacob Frank Wynn. The following students, also from the Lister Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Hughes Evans. Dr. Robert Tyler Uline. Dr. Sophie Lita Brigstock. Dr. Rachel Ashley Buckle. Dr. Divya Keyshaw. Dr. Holly Christopher Lewis. Dr. Grace Marie Tewksbury. The following students are also from the Lister Society and will be hooded by their society leader, Dr. Lisa Flowers. Dr. Jessica Lee is being hooded by her parents, Dr. Shiwa Lee and Dr. Xiao Jiang Lee. Jesus. Dr. Erica Lauren Smearman. Dr. Ashley Nicole Morgan Uritia. The following student is from the Lister Society and is being hooded by his society leader, Dr. Andrew Furman. Dr. Gabriel Long Perlow. The following students are also from the Lister Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Clifford Gunthel. Dr. Matthew Joseph Iceburo. Dr. Haley Ryan Burka. Dr. Hadley Warm Eichengreen. Dr. Kristen Flint. Dr. Christopher Douglas Herman. Dr. Raha Zajordi. Dr. Robert Craig Sineth. The following students are from the Lister Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Jason Higdon. Dr. Uni Shah Vijay Apte. Dr. Caitlin Dinkins. Dr. Hugh Jeffrey Lanier, Jr. Dr. Zion Mahmouth. Dr. Yafet Hadis Mamo. The following students, also from the Lister Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Stacy Higgins. Dr. Alicia Sarah Kramer. Dr. David Varkey Matthews. The following students, also from the Lister Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Joshua Wallenstein. Dr. Ann Cameron Barr. Dr. Hannah Decker. Dr. Amelie Ann Irwood. Dr. Mario Daniel Martinez. Dr. Alex Pijot. Dr. Mitchell Peter Rostad. Dr. Jacob Benjamin Schreiner. Dr. Umfun Ifyong Omo. The following student is from the OSA Society and is being hooded by his society leader, Dr. Daniel Batisky. Dr. Eric Philip Reinerston. The following students are also from the OSA Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Andres Camacho Gonzalez. Dr. Kate Doyle. Dr. Olivia Gorbatkin is being hooded by her father, Dr. Stephen Gorbatkin. Dr. Wanjun Cook. Dr. Margaret Ann Lammert. Dr. Joseph Malucky. Dr. Claire Mackenzie Miller. Dr. Gopal Sarma is being hooded by his father, Dr. Ravi Sarma. Dr. Michelle Soms. The following students are from the Osler Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Maura George. Dr. Sydney Archer is being hooded by her father, Dr. David Archer. Dr. Michael David Aronson. Dr. Adlai Lilburn Pappy II. The following students, also from the Osler Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Emily Herndon. Dr. Uthayan Sandeep Betterbet. Dr. Karen Bignasi. Dr. Tess Kim. Dr. Andrew Paul Sanders. The following students, also from the Ulster Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Mary Jo Lekowitz. Dr. Albert Thomas Anastasio. Dr. Elizabeth Lee Carpenter. Dr. Matthew Robert Kudelka. Dr. Nathaniel Green Reuter. Dr. Derek Emerson Ridley, Jr. The following student, also from the Osler Society, is being hooded by his society leader, Dr. Noble Malik. Dr. Umir Isaac Khan. The following students are from the Osler Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Lawrence Sperling. Dr. Mitchell D. Banks. Dr. Brandon Michael Estroff. Dr. Joseph Sharp. Dr. Hannah Schornstein Williams. The following students are from the Osler Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Martha Ward. Dr. Kevin Hung. Dr. Margaret Kwan-To. Dr. Christina Velazzi Averhoff is being hooded by her parents, Dr. Francisco Averhoff and Claudia Velazzi. The following students are from the Semmelweis Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Wendy Armstrong. Dr. Jenna Kale Adams. Dr. Laura Christine Arneson. Dr. Hande Billen. Dr. Jenna Gorbatkin is being hooded by her father, Dr. Stephen Gorbatkin, 2 daughters. Dr. Elise Alexandra Aouzi. Dr. Megan Catherine McGrath. Dr. Stephen Scott Phillips. Dr. John Austin White. The following students, also from the Semmelweis Society, are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Lisa Bernstein, Dr. Yoav Berzinyuk, Dr. Ian Kyle Everett, Dr. Rachel L. Gluck, Dr. Veena Vaishnavi Kumar, Dr. Ryan Slower, Dr. Sindhuja Surapani Nani, The following students are from the Semmelweis Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Dan Dressler. Dr. Annie Farrell is being hooded by her parents, Drs. Kevin Farrell and Dr. Min Lee Wen. Dr. Nicole Jane Treadway. Dr. Chet Christopher Zaleski. The following students are also from the Semmelweis Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Kimberly Manning. Dr. Sorger Chirag Bakshi. Dr. Anju Ferez Pinzan is being hooded by her mother, Dr. Ingrid Pinzan. Dr. Ghazi Rashid. Dr. Madeline Irene Smith. Dr. Milton Akeem Williams. Dr. Jasper S. Yan. Dr. James Ya Zhang. The following students are also from the Semmelweis Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Jason Schneider. Dr. Preetha Nandi. Dr. Benjamin Joseph Redpath. The following students are also from the Semmelweis Society and are being hooded by their society leader, Dr. Brian Wells. Dr. Marta Brigida Bean. Dr. Danielle Catherine DiPaolo. Dr. Kelly E. Dyer. Dr. Lena Noel Glauca. Dr. Catherine Zurim Nam. Dr. Jason Lewis Schwartz. Dr. Christopher John Sanavaris. and Dr. Lindsay Nicole Urquia.
That was wonderful. Some of you almost forgot to pick up your diploma, I noticed. Feels new, doesn't it, be a doctor? I would now like to introduce Dr. Marta Bean, who was selected and honored by members of her class as their speaker for today's ceremony. She will speak to us on behalf of the graduating class of 2019. Dr. Bean.
My first medical error. Hello and thank you to all the family, friends, educators, and mentors who have joined our remarkable class for this unforgettable day. Class of 2019, thank you for giving me the honor to speak to you today. Just like I felt on the first day of medical school, fresh off the wait list, I definitely don't feel like I deserve to be up here in front of you. I am awestruck by your numerous achievements, your hard work, and your kindness. I could go on for hours about how memorable the last 4 years with you have been, but I will try to keep it short and sweet. Dare I say, bite-sized? So to start, here are my 3 main learning objectives. First, I want to tell your family and friends here how amazing you are, and do this without crying. Next, I want to attempt to quantify the knowledge that we have accumulated here at Emory School of Medicine. And finally, I want to share some parting wisdom, some hopes, and some wishes for the future. Objective 1. The graduates in this room are all incredible people. I am so grateful to know you. You're here today because there is something inside of you that you want to give to the world to make it a better place. Every single person in this class has made an impact on the patients and families that you've served, as well as on the residents, attendings, nurses, and classmates that you've interacted with. Here's some real proof. Some of you were asked by your attendings, even as third-year students, to give bad news to a patient because through your kindness and compassion, you became the patient's doctor. Others have spent hours at the Children's Hospital playing with a sick child because their parents didn't show up that day. Some have helped a surgical team cut out tumors, leaving a grateful patient cancer-free. Many of you have caught babies and carried them safely into the world and will catch thousands more in years to come. Others have made our care safer by speaking up, saving patients days and nights in the hospital, and sometimes, perhaps, saving their lives. I'm sure almost all of you have walked into a call room with a smile on your face and gave a tired resident a bit of relief. And more than likely, every single one of you has run up and down the stairs of Grady, attempting to find what seemed to be the last and only lumbar puncture or paracentesis tray in the entire hospital, and literally saved the day for the whole team and patient before you once you found it. I am humbled to be associated with such a fantastic group of young physicians, and I'm really going to miss you. I'm going to miss squeezing into an already too full elevator at Grady and giving that look to one of you when it stops at every single floor when we're both running late. I'm going to miss passing a bulletin board at Showa and seeing compliments written about you by an appreciative 13-year-old patient. I don't know the last 13-year-old that you met, but many are not appreciative of anything, so whatever you did, it must have been amazing. I forgot to mention this earlier, but I think I have a conflict of interest, and it's y'all. My conflict of interest is that I will always think that Emory grads are the best, and there's honestly nothing anybody can do about it. Objective 2, we have learned a lot. I was lucky enough to be a Harvey Cardiology M4 teacher this March. I felt like my Emory experience had come full circle, sitting with my M1 small group in the same basement room where my beloved Dr. Flacker, Dr. Wells small group started medical school. My M1s were a very smart group of learners. It was very humbling answering their questions, realizing that we've truly learned a new language in the last 4 years. Here are some actual questions that my M1 students asked me during PBL sessions. How can you tell which sound is S1 and which one is S2? Fair. What does diaphoretic mean? What is furosemide? To me, the answers to these questions were so second nature, so obvious, that I didn't even know how to start giving the explanations. Time has moved so quickly over the last 4 years. It's easy to forget all the blood, sweat, and tears that went into learning this new language. The knowledge gap between first-year medical students and where we stand today is not magic. In fact, it's just a lot of hard work. Now let's be clear. I'm not pretending I remember every detail that we have learned over the years, or even 1/4 of the details. I feel tempted to put the notes that I found while cleaning out my apartment under my pillow again to have pillow osmosis do its thing one last time before intern year. We keep hearing that residency is really hard, but we've also heard from countless residents that Emory prepares us well, and that we will be more than prepared come July. Regardless, I'm very grateful to have 140 consultants who I can text when I forget something I once knew. Objective 3, advice. I don't quite feel qualified to give my own home-brewed advice to you all right now, so I'd like to share some that was given to me by a family friend, Dr. Catherine Chodkiewicz, before I started medical school. She told me a story of a member of her hospital team that she worked with who, when asked to change the bed sheets for a patient, said, "That's not my job." The person explained that in her hospital, that was the nurse tech's job. Dr. Chodkiewicz, who is an oncologist working in Maine with many years of experience, without thinking twice, went into the patient's room and changed his sheets because that's what the patient needed. It's a doctor's job to help patients, and as a physician, no task that helps a patient is not your job. It's important to stay true to ourselves. When we were applying to medical school, we all had to be coached through the "why do you want to be a doctor" question to say something more unique than "I want to help people," because that's what instinctively came out of our mouths. Now we're fortunate enough that helping people is both our job and our profession, and no matter how high we climb in our careers, that will always be true. Just to respectfully reality check everyone, we are very much beginning our careers right now, but next year, when you need to send a request for patient records, take the medical student to the fax machine and teach them how to use it so that they can help the next patient. And in 7 years, when you are the chief on a surgery service and your team's patient needs a dressing change right now, it's still your job to go into the patient's room and make sure it gets done with a smile if you're the only person there who can. And in 20 or 30 years, when you're the chair of your department in the hospital, yes, I have very high expectations for you, you should remember that it is a chair and not a throne, and that you should be honored and humbled to do whatever small tasks are necessary to make a patient's day better. Your patients will not necessarily care that you graduated from a highly competitive medical school or that you trained at the best residency program in your field. They will care, though, that you showed up and fulfilled the promise that you made to help people no matter what. Since brevity is the linchpin of any good commencement speech, I'd like to leave you with only a few more words. I hope you can take a moment today to reflect on the weird emotions that you all feel, both by yourself and with a classmate. Today is kind of a lot. We're excited, joyful, and relieved, but also exhausted, nervous, and nostalgic. But I never said that we are alone. As they say, medicine is a team sport, and today we are playing sweat or tears with 140 other people who are feeling the same crazy emotions we feel right now. I hope that you treasure the friendships that you made in medical school as much as I do, and enter residency ready to make many more lasting connections. I hope that you remember the family, friends, partners, and mentors who guided you to where you are today, from elementary school to sports fields, to college classes, to small group, to lecture, to clinical clerkships, to research and beyond, and that you thank them in person and then in practice by one day extending the same generosity of time and spirit to future learners. And I wish that in 50 years, when you've accumulated a lifetime of knowledge, you go forth to serve your patients with the same humility that you had when you met your first patient on OPEX or the Grady Awards. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2019.
Thank you, Marta. As our ceremony draws to a close, I have the pleasure of inviting you to join me in our shared commitments, which are expressed in the Oath of Hippocrates. Class of 2019, please rise and repeat after me the Oath of Hippocrates. I invite all physicians in this wonderful place that we've congregated in to stand with our graduating class and renew this oath with our graduates. The oath is printed in its entirety, in case you're wondering, on the reverse side of your diploma ceremony programs. As the ancient Greeks swore by their gods, so do I solemnly affirm that as a graduate in medicine at Emory University, according to my ability and judgment, I will keep this oath and stipulation. I will consider dear to me and to all those who qualify as students of the art and agree to the standards of the profession. I will follow that system of regimen which, according to my ability and judgment, I consider for the benefit of my patients, and abstain from whatever is deleterious and mischievous into whatever house I enter, and will abstain from every voluntary act of mischief and corruption, whatever in connection with my professional practice or not in connection with it, I see or hear in the lives of men and women which ought not to be spoken of abroad, I will not divulge, as reckoning that all such should be kept secret. While I continue to keep this oath inviolate, may it be granted to me to enjoy life and the practice of the art, respected by all people in all times, but should I trespass and violate this oath, may the reverse be my lot. Thank you. Please be seated. In closing, Reverend Green will present the benediction. Following the benediction, the platform party will lead the procession out of the auditorium, followed by the faculty, and finally our 2019 graduates. We ask, this is important, we ask that the audience please remain in your seats until all of the graduates have completely left the auditorium and continue walking to the School of Medicine building where we will have a reception. There are some anxiously waiting theology graduates and their families just outside this church. Hence, I ask you to move away from Glenn to allow them to begin their ceremony. Thank you all very, very much. Reverend Green.
Would you please all stand as you're able for the final blessing? And would you please indulge me and cross your arms and join hands with the people next to you. You're going to have to scooch in. You might have to cross the aisles, but please, if you can. And let us all together bless these new physicians. May you always remember this day when this community blessed you and sent you forth, believing with all our hearts in your abilities to do marvelous and miraculous things. May you have the wisdom to know that healing will come in many forms, even when cure cannot. May you trust that your compassion will be one of your greatest and most lasting powers. May you feel in your very bones the strength of this web that has formed you and around you and will hold you fast. May you never allow yourselves to become isolated from this source of strength and sustenance. May you have the deepest compassion for yourselves and each other as you enter a profession filled with enormous challenges to your happiness and your health. May you always be willing to ask for help, and may you never lose respect for the way that truth refuses to stay fixed in time and space. May you always say yes to mystery and to what is as yet unknown, but is there just ahead, waiting to be known by you. Amen.